Are you ready for the barnyard experience? Then open up roosteroutline.ai in your exercise files. Now, I'll admit that when I first made this thing, I called it chicken outline, and then I quickly realized it's not chicken, it's a rooster. I'm from Wichita, Kansas. Actually, I live here now, I'm not born here. But there's a lot of farmland in Kansas, a lot of farming areas. But I'm not a farmer. I will admit I'm more of a cityfied person. Yet I do know what a rooster looks like. If I can draw one, I know what it looks like. So open up Rooster Outline. Now the idea is this is an outline. I've got a background down here, and if I turn that off, just to prove the point, there are no fills in this rooster. So our goal in this lesson is to work with fills in a pre-created outline. And you could have got this from somebody else. You could have drawn it yourself, and now it's time to fill those areas in. You don't want it as an outline anymore. That's our goal. Let's get started. One of the things to remember when you're working with an outline is that when you have an outline, the only way to select something, because I can't click here and select, is I have to click on one of the paths. Now to me, and this is my mode of working, not necessarily yours, my mode of working is to fill the whole thing with something and then work from there, because if I fill with color, it's easier to select things. If I try to click here, as you can see, it goes away again because it thinks I'm trying to get to the background. So I would suggest this area right in here is the major color of this rooster. And I need to choose that color and maybe fill everything with it, which will make it easier to select other areas. That's just how I work. So I'm going to press Control A, which is a shortcut for select all. It won't select the background because that's locked. And now we have to think, okay, what color do we want the main body of the rooster? Now this particular document has some swatch palettes in it here, and we've got a color set here. I'm going to use some of these. Let's say I start with this color right there. Now remember, this is clip art. I'm sure that bears no resemblance whatsoever to what you would use to colorize a chicken, but he's my chicken and that's what I'm going to do. So I could then work through this because now I can select areas by clicking on the fill. See, to me that's just a little bit easier. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to select these areas right underneath that wing right there. Now watch your cursor. You want it to look like an arrow before you shift click. Select all those areas. We can choose another color here, but you know what? I want to be more harmonious with this thing. So I'm going to go up to my color guide right here and choose colors based on the first one that I chose. I'm going to make those areas maybe a little bit darker by using one of these tints in here. Now I've decided I like that, but this area right here was an area I wanted to color with that same color, and I don't remember what I clicked over here. So do this. Select that area, which I did. Come over and pick up your eyedropper tool and then click on the color. Any one of these will do. And it will automatically change that area to the color that you clicked on. So that's a quick and easy way to do that. Let's go down here. Now his little toenails or claws or whatever those are called, I've got all of those in a group. I just save some time so I don't have to click 6 times. And if they're in a group, that means colorizes everything at the same time. And so I'm going to make those a little bit darker, something like that. And these areas right here, I think I'll change those too. So I'm going to shift click. And again, I'm sticking up to this color guide. I just think that's going to be a better way to work here. And actually, let's make that a little bit lighter. And let's get these under areas here and here. And let's make those a little bit darker. Let's go up to the top. Now, I do know a rooster typically has a more reddish comb, C1B. So actually, I know what that's called. If I select it, I'm going to come over here, pick up my red right here. But that's what I call red. I mean, that's an outrageous red. So let's go ahead and tone that down a little bit. Maybe not quite so red. And if we select this area down here, pick up the eyedropper, and go ahead and click in there too. I'm not sure if those are both red, but they are in my piece of clip art. A couple more areas real quick here, you get the idea. Let's pick his beak up right here, and let's go back to our original color harmony set right here, and maybe make that something like, well, let's go something like that. And let's go ahead and pick up the little nose hole right there, make that really dark. Let's do 2 more areas. The center of the eye, and that would be dark. And the area surrounding the eye. That's going to be a kind of an interesting selection. Let me make that bigger. Nothing wrong with making things bigger. There we go. Let's make that really light. All right, we'll stop there. You guys more than get the idea. We have a rooster of a different color, I suppose. We started with something that was already drawn, but it proves the point that in Adobe Illustrator, every object, this is not Photoshop, paint on a canvas, every object, even though they're all in the same layer, has the opportunity to be filled with a full color like we did, with a pattern, with whatever you want. As a matter of fact, if we go back over here and we select the main body, we do have this one right here. And I guess we could, if we do this, call him the Calico Chicken. Well, it is clip art after all. On to the next.